Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Joey again. You're watching Vegas D-Tech. How are you guys doing? I hope folks are doing well. I have to first apologize for not being here for a little while. Past couple of weeks I've been dealing with some like chest cold or chest flu or something like this. I don't know. Just sprung up out of nowhere one day, man. I was just coughing up all this congestion. And hell, I thought it was COVID for a minute, man, but I took the test twice and it came up negative. But yeah, just for a while, man, the breathing situation was getting kind of tough and I needed time to get myself, you know, recuperated and over that. I tried to come out here and do some reporting and doing some walk and talks, but I just couldn't keep enough air in me without coughing and so forth. So I was like, you know, I just need to get better before I can come out here and do these reports. But anyways, guys, that being said, I have a good one for you today. And it's concerning how does Nevada, or you know, Las Vegas bank water, right? It's always been a question to me, how do you bank a resource that flows by, right? We're over here at Gratitude Park today. It's my own little private park. Nobody comes out here, but it's nice and private and quiet, and I could actually get some one-on-one talks with you guys. So we're gonna be coming over here. But anyways, guys, before we get into this report today, if you guys could do me a kindness, if you guys like these type of walk and talks that I do with you, providing this information, please do me a kindness. Give me a like. If you find this information beneficial and useful, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Helps me to get my videos out to you as quickly as possible as I get them uploaded, okay? So let's go ahead and get this video started. I got a whole bunch of notes here, and let's get on with that. All right, guys, so today let's go ahead and start with the water level. As of what, 1 o'clock this afternoon, it was 1,044.02 feet. Looking decent, I must say. They've been getting a little bit of moisture out here. And guys, let me tell you, the temperature has taken a big, humongous swing. Since the last video I made you where it was like 113, man, it just has taken a major swing. Now we're like into the decent temperature, which is like the high 90s. Actually, no, high 80s, low 90s. And I can come out here and not actually sweat to death when I make these reports with you, okay? So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. I was watching some videos the other day with realtor companies, and a lot of times, you know, the realtor companies, they tell you things about, you know, they have information. They don't want you to sweat, you know, buying things out here in Las Vegas, because of course, you know, they don't want people worried that the property values are going to go down and have you worried that you don't want to buy. Because, you know, what is a realtor's job? A realtor's job is to convince you that everything is safe and okay, and that you should come out here and spend your money and invest. That's what their job is, right? So for the most part, I listen to what they say, but I always keep it with a grain of salt. There's a reason behind why they're telling people these type of things, but I'll always try to research it in the meantime. So there was a claim, and there's been some subscribers that have actually, you know, commented on my comment board saying that, you know what, in Tucson, Arizona, in Phoenix, they have tons of underground water. And I hear this all the time. Everybody's always telling me, Joey, we got tons of underground water. Just because you can't see the water doesn't mean that the water is not there. And I keep hearing this, but without actual proof of it, I cannot just come out here and make a report on something that I don't have any kind of like paper trails or factual details to, right? So I did a little bit of research, and I actually have video omission from the Southern Nevada Water Authority that this stuff is actually true. And I'm gonna share those clips with you today. So anyways, part of the report is, let me just read this out to you. It says that the Southern Nevada Water Authority, and I wanna lower that down. I hate saying the Southern Nevada Water Authority, it's so long. I'm just gonna say Nevada Water Authority, okay? So the Nevada Water Authority claims that it has 150 million acre feet of water socked away in Arizona, California, and Lake Mead. 150 million acre feet of water they have stored away. And I'm like, how is that possible? What are we talking here? And it says that 335,000 acre feet of water has been pumped into the ground beneath the Las Vegas Valley. What? Since when? I have never heard of this, right? Yes, 335,000 acre feet of water, not naturally flowing and going into an aquifer, but actually being physically pumped into underground storage aquifers And it's really weird because some of the footage and photos that I've seen looks like underground, like concrete underground storage tanks. I've never seen this before. It's got like rails that are going down and there's like tiles on the floor. It almost looked like a spa, you know, underground. And I don't know if that's what they're talking about, but 335,000 acre-feet of water stored underground. And they claim that they've been doing this since the, you know, early 2000s, putting water away. I've been on the fence about this for a while, about pulling water out of the lake. In the essence of the word conservation, I always believe that if in order to truly conserve something, you have to leave it in the lake. If you're still pulling water out of the lake, how is that conserving? Because you're still removing the water physically from the lake and you're not helping to keep the levels up. That's the whole point of conservation. But if you're pulling the water out and moving it around this and that, you're still pulling the water out of the lake no matter how you cut it and how you say it, right? So I went ahead and I dug a little bit further, but it goes even further than what they're claiming that they're storing under the Las Vegas Valley. It claims here, it says, all told, the reservoirs represent a nearly 8-year water supply for Las Vegas. They claim that they have over 8 years of underground water supply. If things go to the point of dead pool, federal government comes in, starts messing around with the dam, diverting it to river level, and more problems come around, I have a feeling that they already had an idea that this might be the situation, and they've been diverting water underground, even off-site in other locations, not just here in Las Vegas. So here, let me get to this report a little bit more. I'm gonna show you a graph here, okay, on the screen. And the graph here is gonna actually, this comes from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, which is a local Las Vegas newspaper. Okay, so guys, if you guys wanna take a look at that, just go to Las Vegas Review-Journal online and take a look. This is the information that I got. The video clips come from that news site, and the actual articles and the graphs that I'm showing you also come from that news site as well, okay? So anyways, here, it says the graph shows that Arizona, that Las Vegas has been banking water and pumping it over to Arizona, and they have an actual underground water aquifer, underground, okay, with 601,041 feet, acre-feet of actual water in Arizona. Wild, right? And then they're saying that in California, 325,000 acre-feet is also in California, but not in an actual aquifer. It's in what they call a loan. Like, they've been selling and loaning water to California with a buyback policy. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this too. How do you have a buyback policy to a state that can't conserve anything? That's like giving a friend that always asks you for money, knowing he's broke with no job, keep giving him money and saying, hey man, I expect you to pay this back to me soon. You know that ain't ever gonna happen. Your friendship will die before he ever pays you back. This is the same situation. It sounds like BS to me, but we'll get more into that. And it says, of course, the 335,000 acre-feet that is in the Las Vegas Valley, and then an additional 552,000 acre-feet that's in Lake Mead, for a total of the 1.5 million acre-feet of water that they have stored total in all of the aquifers. Unbelievable, right? So here's a bank account graph, which they're stating there that 335,000 acre-feet is under Vegas, 601,000 acre-feet is in Arizona, and 330,000 acre-feet has been sold to California to earn a revenue of $44 million. Now guys, I just want to, you know, that's something that has bothered me for a little while here, is the whole selling of the water that you supposedly have conserved. I don't know about this, man. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'd like to hear your comments, guys. Share them down below here. But look, if a city is asking all of its residents and everybody to chip in on conservation, and they're saying, we're doing so good, guys. You guys are not washing your cars. You're not watering your lawns as much. You're actually watering less. You're ripping out your lawns. You're going to rocks. We're removing all of these non-essential grass, and we're replacing it with desert landscapes, right? So no more grass. It's all going to have to be desert landscapes, all for the sake of conservation. Now, what is going on with the conservation? Well, is the conservation that we're actually conserving, is that water staying in the lake system? Well, if you're taking our water conservation and selling that water to California for $44 million, how are you actually conserving? That sounds like profit to me. So how are you taking conservation efforts from a community here, telling everybody to cut back on water and do all these conservation maneuvers, and then turn around and take those conservation savings and then turn around and sell it for a profit to California? No, 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 no. The whole point of conservation is that you leave what's left that you haven't been using, you leave that in the lake system to prop up the levels. And that's what every state and city is supposed to be doing collectively, to prop the levels up. But if you're physically removing the water from the lake and pumping it into underground aquifers in the Las Vegas Valley, if you're pumping it, or I don't even know how they're transferring all this water to Arizona and putting 601,000 acre feet of water into Arizona, how is that saving the lake if you're still physically removing the water from the lake? It doesn't sound like conservation to me. But guys, it's just me, that's just my opinion. I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. You know, share your thoughts. Here. All right. I have a video clip here of Southern Nevada Water Authority John Ensminger, where he actually, you know, openly discusses and admits, you know, that they have been doing this actual injection of water into underground water aquifers here in Las Vegas for years. And, you know, they had their idea that this would eventually come down to this, and they have been banking on it for a while, and this is how they actually been banking the water. So stand by with this clip.
So who would have thought that we'd go from overusing our allocation during surplus times to loaning water to our neighbors in California because we had conserved so much that it was available?
We've banked a lot of water. One of our temporary resources has been taking water out of Lake Mead and physically injecting it into the aquifer here in the Las Vegas Valley. So we have over a year's supply banked in the aquifer under our feet.
So what happens when the community drains its savings account? By then, local officials hope to be drawing from one or more future resources.
I would think desalination is the next most realistic. You know, after that, probably the groundwater project.
The controversial Water Authority project to tap groundwater in parts of rural Clark, Lincoln, and White Pine counties and pipe it to Las Vegas is expected to cost as much as $15 billion and is opposed by residents, ranchers, American Indian tribes, and conservation groups who fear the project will drain the target valleys, destroying livelihoods and producing too little water to justify the enormous expense.
So we're not trying to prioritize the development of a new water resource project over conservation that's literally under our own feet. Absolutely not. So I would want to tell the people of Northern Nevada, White Pine County, why would you implement a new resource strategy when we know that some of the water that we need is running down the street? So why would I go look any farther than in the boundaries of my own community?
I think it's realistic to get it permitted. I believe the water is there. The state engineer has affirmed multiple times that there's unused water available for appropriation should the need arise to access that water. But that's why we have multiple future options, right? I think when you live in the driest state in the union, when you're responsible for 73% of the population's water supply every single day, you don't take options off the table 30 or 40 years before you might need them.
So certainly you can't say that those resources will never be needed in Southern Nevada, but you want to say that you didn't reach for them when you didn't have to.
All right, so lately I have been watching some videos and getting some comments on my channel where people are asking me questions about, you know, we've been talking about the third intake that Las Vegas has put into the lake, guaranteeing that it has last man standing rights if the water situation ever gets down to a dead pool. And dead pool basically means that the water is no longer able to flow at river level past the dam. It's just stuck there and no water is being pushed through the generators, no more power is being made at the dam. However, water is still going to be in the lake system, and that third intake is going to be down deep enough that Las Vegas will always be able to pull water out of it no matter what until the very last drop. Now, some individuals have been asking questions to me saying, Joey, what gave Las Vegas the right to do that? Who gave them the right to go and literally dig a tunnel underneath the lake and put in a drain plug to a resource that is not theirs, okay? The water that's inside the lake has been from years of compacts and treaties that have appropriated water to the lower basin states. That water belongs to all those states, and only a very small percentage, like 3 to 5%, actually belongs to Las Vegas. So who gave them the right to suck out every last drop of that water that's in the reservoir? And you know what? For a while there, man, I've played devil's advocate, and I asked that very same question. I said, it sounds like a greedy move. And you know, me being an advocate of water savings, because I don't like to see the lake in the situation that it is. When I actually talk to people, especially realtors and just general people that live in Vegas, there seems to be just a lot of, you know, over security and arrogance in that actual pipe that's down there, that no matter what, Vegas will always have water. This is Las Vegas, guys. There's just too much money out here. We have the Raiders. There's just no way that water will ever run out in Las Vegas. And that pipe right there is probably true, okay? But answering that question of who gave them the right, you know who gave them the right? The federal government gave them that right. How so? How so? Well, think about it, man. Las Vegas cannot just go out there and just tunnel underneath the lake and put in that drain without people knowing about it, right? Now, you know that the Lake Mead is a federally owned, operated piece of property. The Hoover Dam is a federally owned and operated piece of property. The lake is governed by the National Park Services, which is a federal government body. Right? So there is no way that Las Vegas could actually do this on their own without people knowing. The federal government had to sign off on them to be able to do such a thing. Now, this project here started in 2015, right? So it's not like something that was just done overnight. They just popped up overnight and say, we're going to put a big sump pump under the water and we're going to just start sucking up water. No, this has been something that was proposed and approved, and it has been going since 2015 and ended in, what, 2019? So everybody's known about it, and the federal government knows about it, okay? Now, guys, here's the funny thing. We only see what's going on with the Lake Mead water and the Hoover Dam on the surface. We look out at the water, we see the bathtub ring, we see the water going down, and that's all we know. But we don't know the shenanigans and the bamboozling that's been going on with the water being traded and shuffled off and injected into underground aquifers and sold, this, that, and the other. And there is just so much bureaucratic and political red tape as to where this water is going, who gets it, how much money. It's like a commodity right now, man. You know what I mean? It's a precious commodity that's being bought, traded, sold, and everything else. And do we really think that we will ever get everybody on board, states and water authorities, to all agree on a single plan and proposal to build up that lake? No. Because, guys, I hate saying it, and John Inspinger even says it himself. He says, I don't like getting into my neighbor's business, which I agree. I don't like getting into my neighbor's business. You know, what you do is what you do. But in answering these questions of where is the water actually going in Lake Mead, the bottom line is Southern California's agriculture is where the buck stops. It's where all the water flows to, and in essence, it's where all the water is being used, okay? And every time that a water declaration and a provision needs to be put in place to save water, the water authorities step up and they get together and they put together their provisions and their plans of what they're going to do. But they say that California does not. participate in that. They do not have plans. They do not propose any type of savings. And that really upsets everybody that is participating of all the water authorities. They're just like, look, man, we're willing to take cuts. We're willing to do what we got to do to help build up this system. But if all the states are not on board and contributing equally, then we don't want no part of it. Okay? And that's the story. And I believe that Las Vegas has known for many, 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 many years that this would eventually come down and that this would be the case. And they actually, you know, put a provision in and started planning for this with that third straw. And they have secured their future because they know that they will never get a clear answer from any of these states, and they will not get full participation from every single state to get on board and start saving. So they had to look out for themselves. And they're like saying, hey man, if this stuff gets down to this, we've been banking our water. We've been storing it in underground aquifers. We've been working with other states to store water in their aquifers, and we have a plan to at least give us an additional 8 years. If and when the Colorado continues, if this drought continues to progress, and it's been 23 years? If it doesn't get wetter, if it continues to go drier, and the Colorado levels continue to go down, down, down. And what have we learned so far, man? We've learned that the federal government has their hands in the Colorado River from the very source. You've seen the videos where I've linked to where people have gone to the Rockies, to the very source. Water diversions from the Rockies have been happening from the very top all the way down to the bottom before 1 gallon of water can actually hit the actual Colorado River. That water has already been captured and diverted through tunnels flowing back over the mountain to the other side of the Rockies. And how much of that is being done? Is too much of it being done? Who knows? So we tend to think that it's just natural climate. The natural snowpack is naturally melting into the river naturally. And hey, if it just happens to be that we have a very low summer, you know, flow because of snowpack, then it is what it is, right? Because that's what Mother Nature gave us, and we can live with that, right? But no, that's not the case. The case is man has his hands on the actual lever to divert water this way or to divert water that way before it actually ever makes it into the Colorado, and that's quite disturbing. I don't know who said it, but it has been said that if you leave the federal government in control of the Sahara Desert, we will be without sand in 5 years. And here we go again with the water. If you leave the federal government in control of the water, how long will we have water for, right? So yeah, man, it's quite shocking for me to see this situation that's going on here where I'm finding out that water is being injected into underground aquifers off location in many different areas. And my question is, how is this conservation? You know what I mean? I mean, if you're going to say that you're conserving water, then whatever it is that you're not using, whatever it is that you're conserving, should remain in the lake system to pump up the levels. Do you guys agree with that or not? Yeah, sure, man. I mean, if you want to pull some of the water out and deviate it, this, that, and the other, and store it, I guess. Because I've always wondered, how do you bank a resource that flows through your yard and goes down to a dam? You would think that anything that you're not using flows to the dam and it's collected at that reservoir and it stays there. That would be the case, but no. Once they open up the dam and they allow the flows to flow down to the next reservoir, everything that you've banked flows down the river too, right? So where is your allocation of water that's been stored? I guess people are saying, nah, you know what? We're not trusting this whole dam reservoir system that's out there. We're finding ways to bank our money and pull it off river. We're gonna pull it off lake and we're gonna store that on our own. And this is what I found. And like I said, the actual omission of this happening from the water authority via this video that I provided to you states the case that it is true. So guys, share your thoughts, man. Tell me, what is it that you think about that? I mean, is it a good idea to have man-made water aquifers and purposely pump water away from the lake system and stick it into the ground for future use? Is this sustainable? Does it make sense? Is it cool? Do you guys agree with it? Or do you guys feel that if you guys are truly going to conserve water, then you need to keep it in the lake system to help prop up the water levels? Or is it basically every man for himself? This is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like every man for himself. Every city knows that the Colorado is on its way out. Will it completely stop flowing to zero? I doubt it. But will the flow get so bad that really it's not enough for any of the cities to sustain themselves, and they're going to have to be looking for other avenues and ways to get water? Absolutely. I do believe that probably in the next 20 or 30 years, that's what you're going to see, man. This whole situation with the Colorado, with the way the cities are growing and the demands for agriculture, it's just absolutely not going to be the sole way that we get water. And right now, Nevada has been working with Mexico, saying, look, we will help you build a desal plant in the coast of Mexico where you can get fresh water from there. And what we'll do is we'll just hold back your allocation of water up here, but we'll help you build that plant down there, and you can get your water from the desal plant down there. That's an idea that they're working on. And then they're doing another thing where they're saying that they feel that in the arid areas of eastern Nevada, that there's underground water aquifers out there, and they want to pump the water from that area to Las Vegas, which all the people that live out in that area, they highly oppose of it. They don't like that idea. The people that live out in, you know, the arid areas, unpopulated areas of Nevada, they get all their waters from groundwater, and they're not too happy with the idea that Vegas wants to put pipes out there and suck out all that water and bring it to Las Vegas. And not even the governor, you know, Governor Sisolak, he's not even too thrilled about that idea. Where that's going to go, I don't know. The Water Authority claims that they think that that has a chance of happening. And then, of course, this whole situation with a desal plant in Mexico, where Nevada will pump, give them money to help build the plant. They will actually desal the water there, keep it, and then we'll hold back some of their allocation up here at the lake for us to use up here. So anyways, guys, yeah, guys, so that's all I basically have for you here today. This new information on the underground water aquifers under the Las Vegas Valley, off-site in other states. It was amazing to me. I didn't really believe any of it. Like I said, I take everything with a grain of salt until I can prove it, until it's actually, you know, I got factual proof. And hey, just the omission on video from the Water Authority, how much better can that get? So guys, thank you so much again for hanging out with me on another neighborhood walk and talk. If you guys haven't done so already, if you like this type of information, like I said, guys, do me a kindness, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Share this with your family and friends. And guys, I will go ahead and get this thing loaded up and get it out to you, and I'll talk with you a little bit later. You guys be well. I'm Joey, you're watching Vegas Detect. I'll see you guys later. Take care now. Bye.